The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Would you come if I asked you to ride with me on this one-way road that leads? Well, I don't know, but I will take you anyway you see. I know what you need, and what you got is exactly what I want.
Introduce our guest, James.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Counterflow, our special guest for today, Snuffleupagus.
Yeah, I exist. I'm not an imaginary guy.
Pacho's been gone for a month.
Yeah.
And this excuse coding.
I am coding.
He says coding like it's a surprise, like, you know,
Yeah, I know.
your birthday. It's expected, you know. It's always the same day every year. Coding's the same day every week. It's like, but you know. Anyway, welcome to the show, Pacho.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you get lost coming here? I texted you directions. You know,
Yeah,
just in case
I
you
knew
forgot.
how to get here again. Though. Hi
All
guys.
right, we're here for the next 45 minutes or so. We'll be talking about cars, motoring, racing, and everything to do with your motoring lifestyle, basically.
That's correct.
So, you know what? I want to kick things off first with something very special, close to my heart. Something we're doing ongoing right now, and hopefully people who are tuned in might be able to still help. It's called Oplan Hatid. Have you heard of
Yes,
what's been going on? Mm-hmm. This is just a program that was set up by impromptu program set up by a buddy of mine, former motoring editor of the Star, June Ocampo. Basically, the idea is very simple. All of our evacuees coming from the typhoon-stricken areas of Yolanda, of Leyte, Cebu, etc., they're being evacuated because there's no more food, they have no more homes there, so they're coming to Manila via C-130 through the military planes, and they land in Villamor Air Base. And the volunteers came straight away when they heard and started packing food for them, etc. The normal stuff that goes on with relief centers. What was noticed, however, by one of the volunteers, a girl called Golda Benjamin. Golda noticed that she was leaving all the evacuees on the sidewalk outside Villamor and Pasa, you know, that road, and you know, with their bags and nowhere to go. And she thought, something wrong with this picture. So, you know, you've taken them from where they are, give them some relief goods, give them a hot meal. This is all great, medicines, a little whatever, and then put them in and just said, fend for yourself. So she felt bad, and she said, she mentioned it to a friend. She actually posted on Facebook innocently, and my friend's wife noticed it. And this is how it all started. So he called me and said, James, maybe you can help in motoring. You know, this is your core. And I said, well, whatever I can do, I'll drive for the people. I mean, so we got grouped together. Started with 3 volunteers.
Okay.
So, and 3 volunteers on Thursday. Friday, I think we're up to 50. By Saturday, we had over 175 people.
Wow.
These are 175 cars and drivers. It was the snowball effect of just when I posted it online on Facebook, it got shared 1,500 times in the same day.
Yeah.
It just sprung on, and people just came in from everywhere. It was overwhelming. And people like Avis contacted me. I don't know anyone in Avis. Said, listen, how can we help? And they sent not just 1 or 2 cars. They sent a coaster. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It just does nothing but just take people. They're not taking people to the nearest, you know, EDSA. They're taking them home.
Home where? Is it
anywhere?
Is someone hosting them?
No, well, that's the thing. When the process is when they arrive in Villamor, they come off the C-130. They're met by counselors. Counselors are volunteers as well. They could be nuns. They could be DDES, WD. And they just talk to them. They say, okay, they come and they group them in families and they ask them, they let them talk first. A lot of these people feel the need to express what happened. It's part of the healing process. And then they address their immediate requirements. Mom, are you hungry? Have you called somebody? Do you need to use a free phone? Globe Smart have set up there, free calls. Medicines, are you okay?
With or without signal, they are there.
They're there. Well, you see, this is one time I won't even bug them because, you know, you have an amnesty for me because of what you did. So I won't even make jokes. Then there's Watson's SM, set up a counter.
Oh, okay.
Free medicines. Doctors turned up, check you. Maybe you have some sugat here. Maybe you have medicines for fever, etc. So that process. And then what they noticed is there was a lack of what do they do next. So then they ask you, where are you going? Yeah. Once you contact your relatives, how are you going to get there? And this is what's happened with the roster of drivers. They're turning up, and they're just offering to drive them anywhere they need to go. That's great. So what's been happening has been absolutely overwhelming. So first it was like, okay, Marikina, Antipolo, Quezon City, whatever. Then, I mean, not all these people have relatives in Manila.
In Manila,
so,
right.
You know,
so what's the farthest?
The farthest one, you know, they announce, basically this is a system. They say, park your cars, and we'll get into the system a little bit later. It's very important. But you park your cars there, you sit in the tent, and you just wait.
Wait, of course.
You just wait. And the plane comes, and we don't see, there's a grandstand there. So our backs were at the back of the grandstand. They process them there. Basically, they say, okay, we have requirements for these people. Family of 4 to Antipolo, so-and-so to Marikina, family of 7 to Marikina, 7 to Quezon City, 2 to Pasay, whatever.
Okay.
And then the barker just says, okay, we have 2 to Pasay. It's like an auction. 2 to Pasay, oh, I'll take that.
Oh,
Boom,
right.
you're off.
Okay.
Okay, so then comes, okay, we have 1 to Cagayan de Oro. One guy puts his hand up. Yep, all right. What do you mean? I'll drive him to the airport, I'll buy him a ticket. Drove the guy to the airport, bought him a ticket, put him onto a plane to Cagayan de Oro.
That's amazing.
Then the other day, there was one where we were sitting there. We were just all like this. And it was morning, right? And so the plane comes in, so we start getting processed. You sit around doing nothing for a while, but then when the plane comes in, it's busy. So you have about 150 people that need a ride. Or 150 people. Not all of them need individual rides. But, okay, so they're barking it off, and the girl goes, all right, we have 14 to Baguio. Baguio City,
No one was
14, and we're all there. We're like 40 of us. Baguio, 14. We gotta bring it down to 7. 7 to Baguio. 7 to Baguio. And then this one guy goes, and everyone, standing ovation. Woo! 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 So this guy's like, but he's the reluctant hero. Thank you. The guy goes, pare, do you know anyone in Baguio? Have you ever been to Baguio? Where do you stay? Cavite.
Oh my God.
So then the guy goes,
insane.
Yeah, so the guy goes, Cavite. So he goes up, sige na, let's go. His face is as long as Edsa. Tara na, let's go. But he felt the need. So somebody kicked in and said, but actually, I had just come from a Sea Oil event about a week ago.
Okay.
And they gave us like $1,500 of, we won it in this raffle of fuel.
So you give it. Okay.
Salamat. Thank you. But we've had people go, Cabanatuan, Elbert.
Okay.
Elbert's always a guest on the show, right? Elbert couldn't make it, so he sends his driver and his car. And so he goes, go there and help them out. What do I do, sir? Just do whatever your conscience tells you. But I don't understand this thing. You know, you get the rhythm of it. Just go in there. What do I? It's up to you. You make the decision. I took a ride. Cabanatuan. 8 hours that way, 8 hours back. Hours. Saan ka na? Cabanatuan. Bakit? Sir, you told me to make a decision. But he certainly did. Yeah, he made a decision, dude. But these are some of the heartwarming stories. Here's another guy. Incredible stories. Another guy. He's one of just a Facebook friend, right?
Okay.
He turns up. He was so, because you get emotionally connected to the people, because it's not one thing to hand over relief goods and next. It's a factory.
Yeah.
But when you take the moment hearing their stories and knowing that you've had a direct impact on the person's life, it's different. You've made an emotional investment, and they'll never forget that.
Right.
It's the difference between transportation or transport and support.
Okay.
Big difference.
Yeah.
One, if I gave you cab money, you'd be like, thanks, buddy. But if I drove you home, it's a different thing, especially when you've got nothing. It means everything. So this guy made Hatid once. He came back. Made Hatid again. Came back. He made Hatid again. He came back. 13 times. 13 families. Wow. He logged 736 kilometers on his brand new Montero.
Wow.
And you know, I was just like, these are some of the incredible stories. Another guy sends his family, his company driver, go there, with my car and just drive. I'll pay you overtime. So yes, sir. He goes and he drives overtime to whatever, 1 or 2 in the morning. Next day he calls his amo up and says, sir, I refuse to take the pay for that day. Not just my overtime, for the whole day.
Yeah.
It's just, these are some of the things that, you know. And anyway, these are the heartwarming stories that are coming out from this thing. And it's, I think, even the Wall Street Journal picked it up. Really? There was an article today in the Wall Street Journal about Oplan Hatid.
Amazing.
Yeah, and they were asking, why do you think this is working like this? Why do you think it's snowballing? And I said, you know what? The only thing I can say is that there's a genuine lack of confidence and lack of trust in whether or not your aid will reach the person needed. We've seen so many things happen with aid going missing or not getting there. This is one way you're guaranteed it's getting directly. Not a precious drop wasted. It's going to the source. And you witness it unfold in your very own cars. So if you can help, we're tweaking the system right now because Villamor got overloaded. They actually shut the base down. Yep. They were so overwhelmed. They actually closed the gates.
No wonder there were a lot of trucks parked outside Marriott Hotel, even the condos there.
Civilians, everyone, all that. They just said they couldn't take it. They couldn't cope. And I won't go into why. I won't get into the politics or commentary about it. But I'm just saying that they couldn't cope with the amount of volunteers, traffic, parking, etc. So stand by. We're developing a website right now, which is being done by another car enthusiast, Rafi David, who does the stuff for the DFA.
Yep,
he does all of the passport renewals. That's his core business, and that's what made the DFA so efficient by comparison to what it used to be before. They set up a system to decongest, and that's what he's doing for us. He's setting up a system right now to decongest, so that instead of you calling me, which I've had to switch this off right now because it's just nonstop. How can I help? Where can I go? What to do? So we're going to have a website set up by tonight, which will tell you not just where to go, how to do it, and all that. You can register your car online, so your plate number will already be forwarded to Villamor, so that you're expected. And instead of entering the base, which they keep changing every hour, you can enter gate 4, no more na, gate 1, no more na, change to gate 5, and it's getting so complicated. We're going to actually move everything. No, there are going to be 2 setups. They come from the grandstand area. If you try and picture the base, there's the runway, there's a grandstand that receives it, and then that's where we were, in the back of the grandstand in the car park. That car park's been overwhelmed. What we're going to do is decongest that. This is where the victims arrive, and then they're going to be processed, and then when we get the requirements, we're chilling out here at gate 5.
I see.
Okay, we're going to have a Starbucks setup or whatever, mirror ball, I don't know, whatever we do, we're going to have our own little setup there for drivers. So that you can turn up and say, hey, I just want to, you can be spontaneous. You happen to be in the area and you have 2 hours to kill and you say, well, why don't I just hang out at Oplan Hatid and maybe I can take somebody going the way I'm going.
But you have to register first.
You can register there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we can register online, we'll give you a car pass. But the thing is, we're not bothering Villamor until they assign you a ride. So we could be sitting out there in gate 5, which it's not a secure area. And so we could be chilling out there until the radio comes in and says, okay, we have a requirement for, they're inside the base, we have a requirement family of 4 to Marikina. Then the barker there will say, okay guys, we have a family of 4 to Marikina. Oh yeah, actually I'm going that way anyway. So boom.
All right.
And we're not, and that's the system that we're trying to set up hopefully by tomorrow. Within minutes of posting this, I just posted just before we started the show. I said, guys, we need help. We need another tent. We need another communication system. All in one hit. PRS came in with a tent, with radios, with everything. It's just all poured in. Just like that. I mean, I didn't know who to ask, so I just posted up there. Everything. Chairs, tables, the whole works. This is the Bayanihan spirit. We call it Bayanihan on wheels. So,
wow,
I'm very proud of Oplan Hatid. Okay, nice, react. Awkward moment. Hashtag awkward. Okay. Yeah. Pacho's fake laugh. That's his TV laugh. Okay.
Yeah, James. Yeah, what's good?
Okay. Your turn to speak. Oh,
no.
We've run out of time.
We ran out of time already. We gotta go already home.
It's like a homily every time I start, no?
Yes.
Okay, go before I start on something else.
Oh, what happened yesterday, F1?
Who cares, man? The results were published before it started. Vettel wins again. They said, the race hasn't started. Oh, really? Oh, sorry. Delete. It's just, there was a good battle between Alonso and...
So you still watched it, James?
I just caught the highlights. I didn't stay up 3 in the morning. When I found out Vettel was on pole, I thought, you know what? I hate to hate, but guys, it's just, there's something not right
I know
there.
it.
It's too annoying already. So he romped off to his 8th successive victory. He's broken the record now for the most amount of wins in one season, or the most successive wins in one season. Well, I don't care. If it was Alonso, I'd be telling you every detail.
Oh yeah.
But whatever.
Sure.
He broke some sort of record.
Yeah.
And so he did that. Grosjean second.
Okay.
Wow.
Grosjean,
okay.
huh? Remember that call we
you.
had before? You think he'll win a race, and we were. Like 5 minutes. Pacho wasn't even a TV laugh. He was. He was
But
really.
they said he had potential. It was just that.
No, he's got potential. He's shown that he's found his groove, and by next year, if they give him the car, because that's all a different story. Aside from the V6, Lotus are in a whole sort of mess. And can I just say, I was a huge Lotus fan. Came here to Manila and everything, Kimi fan, etc. Until they did what they did this weekend. Very, very disappointed in the team.
What happened? What did they do?
They Davide Valsecchi is their third and reserve driver. Kimi Raikkonen needs back surgery. He steps out of the last 2 races. They asked everyone but Valsecchi. They asked Michael Schumacher. They tried to offer Hulkenberg. They eventually settled on Kovalainen. Pulled him out of God knows where.
And the reason was why? Why did
Exactly.
they do that?
That's what Valsecchi feels. You're a third and reserve driver. You know, every night you pray for the main guy to get sick. And he gets sick. Supposedly sick. Hashtag. And then nothing. They didn't get him. And he's a GP2 champion sitting there. Why do you want to become a third and reserve driver if when your time comes, you're not called? They offered Michael Schumacher the seat for the last 2 races. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
So mobile chicane. A mobile chicane.
Yeah, but you know, it's not just a disrespect to Valsecchi. It's a disrespect to the entire system of a third driver and a reserve driver. It's no point. You're just, you know, it's ridiculous. I don't know why. And Heike, he finished nowhere by memory. His teammate's second and he was disappeared. Imagine if that was Kimi. And Kimi's usually finishing way ahead of Grosjean and he finishes all the way down the bottom. Man, what would you have lost if you put Valsecchi in there? Anyway.
He was there already.
He was there
and he's part of the team already and everything.
Exactly.
He knows what's going on and then how it's being developed with the car.
He's the one developing it. He's the one who's the third driver.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's bad, huh?
That's
it's bad.
really, really bad.
It's bad. At least, you know, like Red Bull had a choice of any driver that they wanted in the second seat next to Vettel, but they chose Ricciardo because if they didn't choose Ricciardo, they're basically saying that their whole Red Bull Junior program and Mangusen from the Renault World Series, in the same series that Marlon was racing in, he won the championship, and now he's confirmed with McLaren. They're booting out Perez. And that shows that the McLaren junior driver system is working.
Right.
There's no point having it if you're poaching from the outside all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
And they got Ricciardo and they put him into the Red Bull. It shows the Red Bull racing program is working. And then here's Valsecchi, and then they do that. Very disappointing. Very disappointing.
And he's a pretty good driver, huh?
Valsecchi, amazing guy, GP2 champion. And you met him in the... So there. All right, so your turn. Don't put me on another role, I'm telling you.
What's new with Autoplus?
We're seeing that, okay, finally there is something happening with the local racing scene. You know, it's getting bigger, it's getting better. The last weekend race, we were there with James with the PTCC.
Okay.
There were a lot of entries, a lot of cars. There was a lot of new things coming up right now. You know, it's been good to see again the motorsports in the Philippines start to go somewhere. Yeah. But I was talking to many of the guys there, and then we got a big percentage of the racers that they came from another series. Yeah, so it's another series that's been helping also to promote motorsports in the Philippines, to be able to bring new blood into the sport, into the scene right now, though. And then, the new drivers that we saw them this time, they were doing a very good job. We saw some of the old race car drivers, you know, like Carlos Anton. We were able to see him again.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the guy's flying. You know, you saw him, right? It's like.
It was like he was in a Vettel of his own.
Okay. I'm sure he won.
He was Not just one, he decimated the field. He was pulling away at 1.5 seconds a lap, controlled pace, as in like, he wasn't pushing. By the opening lap, he's 1.5 seconds ahead of his nearest rival, and then he builds the gap to about 6 to 7.5 seconds, and then just maintains. Wow. Save the engine.
Yeah, and then anyways, there is another coming event racers. It will be nice for people to see, and also if people want to join. One of those is the Philippine Enduro race.
Yes, and we'll be talking to them very soon. As a matter of fact, we should bring them on because we only have about 15 minutes. So after these words, we'll have Enzo Pastor and Dalia Pastor here in the studio to talk about the endurance race.
Hi. They say nothing in this world is free, and for the most part, that's true. But here at NMF Network, all shows are indeed 100% free. And as an added feature, you have the option to subscribe to all your favorite programs, also at no charge. Why should you subscribe? By subscribing, you no longer have the hassle of delays when you stream the program. You also don't need to keep checking our site to see if your favorite programs are up, because they'll automatically be uploaded to your device as soon as it's available. Here's how to do it. First, open iTunes. Your next step, hit the iTunes Store button. A search bar should open up as soon as you do that. Type New Media Factory in the search bar, and all your shows should open. Pick the show you like, or all the shows you like. And once that opens, hit the subscribe button. And that's it, you're in. All shows will now be automatically downloaded to your device.
I want one of those things. Use it. Can't be. Basti, how come it's only you who gets it? I want that. Anyway, welcome back. In the love seat is Enzo and Dalia. I am not overly tall, by the way. This is just the way the love seat's designed. The way it works. Right? Just in case you think about really Al and I are a freak of nature. I mean, it's you can feel it, right? Dalia, Enzo, welcome to the show. You guys, let's just give a quick background, just in case the guys don't know your story. Circuit Showdown began when, and
we started 2010. Basically a time attack and wheel-to-wheel event in one. First year we would only have about an average of 20 cars, 20 participants per weekend. We've grown to an average of 90 to 100.
90 to 100. This is wow. This is bracket racing, right?
Yeah, for time attack. And also our wheel-to-wheel side, our largest grid for the year, we had I think 34 or 36 cars.
Whoa! I mean, there's going to be the obvious question is what's the difference between this PTCC? I guess those two, or any other racing series.
Basically, PTCC, it's under the AAP. They have the FIA governing over them. This one, it's just basically us. We are trying to promote drivers to bring their cars to the track, start off racing. Rules are very open.
Is this to encourage more grassroots?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we're basically the starter series.
Okay.
So we also basically sponsor drivers to join the PTCC as well.
Okay.
So we're basically when
Arnel Carlos, wasn't he one of your drivers?
Yeah, Arnel Carlos, Alan Arguiles.
Alan, yeah.
Mark Thoman.
Yeah, Mark Thoman.
Edwin this year also. We've had a few,
yeah. Okay, so that's great. So that's how Circuit Showdown was born, to sort of put that little stepping stone towards PTCC, because it can be a very intimidating step. I think before PTCC is, before that would be, there's not much available really. TRS had a program with the Fiestas and now the Vios Cup coming up, but this is more, you can take, do you have to have a roll bar?
Only for our two fastest brackets. For the wheel-to-wheel. You can basically bring any car for time attack.
Yeah, like you have a Genesis and you say, or an 86 and you say, wow, stick on that.
There we go. We have one of the pictures of the, last grade.
Okay. This is Circuit Showdown?
Yep.
All right. So this is the wheel-to-wheel portion.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. There's 3 wheels
So
there.
for the grid A and B, you have to have at least a 4-point cage. Reason why just that, you don't want to, well, from the beginning, a lot of guys just brought stock cars to the track. We slowly infused rules. So it's the cage, then fire extinguishers. For next year, it's going to be the suits. So we're slowly introducing it to them. They do see
Eventually
the
graduate
advantage.
to a helmet,
Yeah.
maybe.
It's nice. No, it's nice to do it that way because, of course, you know the beginners they don't want to feel it as a hindrance.
No,
for them to be able to join.
There's a full
having to do that,
commitment. Yeah, absolutely. So you don't even know if you've got the skill or if you've got potential until you go out there and then try it out. And like, that's good. You know, if it doesn't work out, your car is still intact. You don't have a roll cage.
Plus, for $3,000, you get to use the track for pretty much a total of 3 hours, and then you get to bring home a trophy. You also accrue points over the year. End of the season, we give lots of parts away.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So okay, that's the background with Circuit Showdown, but you're here to talk about more about this very exciting
The
endurance race.
Philippine Endurance Cup, it's on its 3rd year this year. It's going to be the first time we run it in Clark. So we don't know how that's going to be.
So usually it's
All the
in
teams
BRC,
are-
right? In
Yeah, it's
BRC,
usually
okay.
in BRC.
Yeah, well, you didn't know how it was going to be 3 years ago, so that worked out okay, right?
So far there are 12.
There are less cows in
Yeah.
Clark, so
So far there have been I think 12 registered teams. So with that's the most number so far.
that's how many per team?
2 to 6 drivers.
2 to 6 drivers and up to how many cars per team?
No, just one.
It's just one,
Yeah.
one team, one car.
One team, one car.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, but 6 drivers is a lot for.
It's for the guys that just want to try it out, that know they can't drive for over an hour straight.
Yeah, right.
At least they get to share it. Plus, it brings costs down per driver.
Okay,
right.
yes, of course. And this is going to be held when?
It's going to be on the 1st of December. Basically, there are 4 brackets. There's 4 categories. The Manufacturer Cup, meaning showroom stock cars. We have the RP Cup, which are the race prepared cars. So no aircon.
The Manufacturer's Cup, do you divide that among 2 liters?
We were supposed to have a few this year, but due to the
Yes.
they had to unfortunately pull
Pull
out.
out, yeah. So, okay.
Then we have the FM1 and 2. FM1 is basically road-going cars with the works, aircon, everything, all the creature comforts pretty much, which are above 150 wheel horsepower.
Okay.
Then FM2 are the below 150 wheel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
And then
really.
Roll
also
cage
the overall
mandatory?
class.
What's
Roll
that?
cage is mandatory.
No.
Especially not for manufacturers.
Just for the,
For the RP.
it is highly recommended.
But what I like about endurance racing, just on a personal note, is that it's.
Yeah, you've got experience along with Pacho, right?
I enjoy it a lot more, because it's. I mean, I find sprint races. I mean, it's very aggressive, and it takes a whole different setup to do that. And whereas endurance racing, you're not. Yeah, you're driving a smart race, so you're not going to sit there scrapping it out with a guy for like 15 laps or something like that. You know, like your life depending on it. You know, you got your own race to run.
Yeah.
You know, it's easier to swallow when somebody passes you, because you're like, well, you know, he's on his own race. You know.
Always have an excuse.
It happens to a lot, right?
Okay, thank our guest. Where's the microphone this time? All right, so it's happening December 1. How do they register? How do they do this?
You have up to November 30 to register. It's only $15,000. We have a spec tire, the GT Radial SX1 or SX2.
They have to buy their own.
Yes.
Okay.
You can actually course that through us as well. We can order the tires for you. That's no problem.
So just email us at philendurancecup@gmail.com. Your intent to join. We'll send you all the info there. We're also on Facebook. So it's
Who isn't?
Phil Endurance Cup. Yeah,
Even
it's fun.
Twitter's
I
on
mean,
Facebook.
Yeah,
we're
I know.
pretty lenient on rules. whatever penalty we do give out during the race, it's pretty much just a drive-through. So we don't want to stress on, you know.
Just please don't
Yeah.
reverse.
Yeah.
We had that a few
You did
times.
on the starting line.
No, in pit
Pit
lane.
lane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I always wondered.
It's
about
also
that.
very strict. I mean, the nice thing on this series is that I mean, they are not so strict on implementing so many rules, but the basic safety rules are very are very well followed.
You're not
So
allowed
people-
to spin out, overshoot, things
really?
like that.
Yeah.
What, this is
You
for
gotta-
enduro?
Yes.
Also, yes.
You're not allowed to
You're
spin
supposed
out.
to be driving within-
Overdriving
yeah.
is not allowed.
You're not allowed to
within your
spin
limits.
out, overshoot.
Overshoot. I
Like-
mean, of course, if your brakes give, we'll understand that.
But if we can
But-
tell you're overdriving
If you're
Okay.
dicing with somebody or something.
Yeah.
and you're
No
driving
touching,
beyond
of
your
course,
limits.
yeah. Because I mean, these are other people's daily cars. They can't afford separate race cars. So we're trying to encourage more people on the track. Now we don't want that guy with a race car smacking into
Banging
everyone.
wheels, you know,
Yeah.
intimidating,
Yeah.
karting style. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It
it's
cannot
also,
happen
we
though.
have quite a few high-end cars that also join our series. So we have Porsches, Lamborghinis. So it's also we also have an NSX that joins. So we have quite a few interesting cars that join.
And 6 hours. What time to what time?
We usually start about 10:30
Okay.
in the morning.
So,
Till
so first and second 30.
6 hours after that.
So normally the first second driver is the one that has to withhold the whole heat of midday.
yeah.
You know,
you're
it's
right.
really
Actually, you have
tough.
the aircon class that you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some of them.
It reminds me of that when I.
But are you gonna turn it on?
You know what? I saw last year. I was in the enduro race, and then one of the teams beside us, man, they were just having a party. They were just having a great time.
Yeah.
They just put the car on the grid. They went out, they did a few laps, and then they encountered a little bit of issues on the car. And then they know the important thing, and one of the rules that maybe is good to mention is also important thing is to be able to cross the finish line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Aside of the number of laps that you do, it's
Yes,
very
correct.
important to cross the finish line though. So this team knew about that one, so they parked the car, they let the car cool down, they cook barbecue and stuff like that. Then like 3 hours after they went out, they did a couple of laps more, pit in again. Then, like 15 minutes to go, they went out again and they crossed the finish line and they're
Yeah.
pretty okay and they have fun.
They finish with a knocking engine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But they finished
And
though.
what are the rules on driver changes? Do you have a minimum stint time, a maximum stint time?
Each driver just has to do one lap.
Okay, so just one thing, I've done it, and then, but that would be kind of point. That's it'll penalize you, won't it?
Yeah, so it's all up to your strategy. Yes.
But you don't have a minimum. You don't say, okay, it has to be 2 drivers. Or
yeah,
3.
minimum 2.
Minimum 2. So,
Yeah.
and then
I see.
maximum
6 drivers.
6. Okay, reminds me of when I don't know if you were still here when I went to Le Mans and told the story here about the lady interviewing Alan McNeish, reporter, right? And yeah, he's answering questions. So, and she goes, "You were saying there are 3 drivers per car," and he said, "Yes, that's right." It's a true story because he even tweeted this after. Where do you all sit? He was like, huh?
It's called teamwork.
Yeah, it does. He said he never encountered a question like that in his entire career. Where do you all sit?
In the driver's seat.
All right. Next question, please. So there we go.
Oh my God.
Are you serious?
So it's a minimum of 2 drivers, minimum of 1 lap, no maximum time per driver. Like you
Yeah.
can, so you can. The one guy can do.
So everyone that
5 hours and
registers has
55,
to do at least one.
and the other guy can do 5 hours 55.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So that makes it should be a lot of fun because like I said, it's a great way to get experience in motorsports because you're really going to learn the track. If you're out there for 3 hours or 2 hours, oh wow, you'll really get familiar with the car, the track.
It worth the money on sit time. It really worth the money.
Yeah, it's absolutely because the first endurance I ever did, I think it was the first. Oh, was it the only one with Cookie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Yeah, you really learn. You really learn a lot, and you learn how to temper yourself a little bit better. And then by the time you go out there, you've got so much experience behind the wheel in a race car. It's great.
And in short, you don't want to drive home. That's for sure. After doing the endurance race, you do not want to drive home.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there you go. Did we get that? Was it 1 minute? 10 minutes. 10.
Wow, we're still up.
He's trying to be subtle. What? 5? We should get the like the UFC, the girls. She should go around 5 minutes. So we know. I mean, I think you should do something.
Yeah,
right?
that would be good.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
that time they go like
yeah, the shit boards. Yeah, with the numbers there like that.
Yeah, but normally they go like finish.
I wasn't sure if it was 1 or 10. So anyway, it's 10. Well, it was 10. Now it's probably 6 because we spent 4 minutes talking about it.
Can you imagine if, all of a sudden we were talking and all the letters that come out, blah, 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 blah. We are off air now? You guys can stop.
Car park cam. Okay. So guys,
one more thing, Enzo. You've been racing also internationally lately.
Yeah, I was about to
just tell us, how is it going? What's
Good.
happening?
I'll be going to the States. I'll be awarded in Charlotte for the NASCAR.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
NASCAR?
What?
Charlotte's
my dad.
Speedway, baby.
Yeah, I saw the guy. I saw Paul.
No.
Yeah.
He's famous there.
And he was like,
my dad just came from there. They were talking very pleasantly about us. So it's also a good thing that I finished in the top 6. And they're sending me there, so it's somewhat redemption for us.
Okay.
That we can actually, do a whole season.
Yeah, that was.
It's not a full scam all the time.
Yeah. So you saw
Filipinos.
Paul, huh?
yeah, I saw.
Okay, well, let's talk to Enzo.
So I'll be going
versus-
there, bulletproof vest. And, hopefully they're nice to me.
So okay, you did. Yeah, that's another thing. Aside from, we'll talk about the NASCAR first series, the Euro NASCAR series that you did. How close is that to what people associate with NASCAR?
It's the same car. It's a late model.
450, right?
Yeah, 450 horsepower. We're bringing 8 cars back here. Next Feb, we're gonna have our own local series. So
is this gonna be a part around?
Oh no, we're gonna have our own Philippine series.
Philippine NASCAR series.
Yeah, it's gonna be called the
Asian V8 Championship.
Okay, Asian V8 Championship. Can any local manufacturer join this? Can Genesis, let's say, for example?
Yeah, it's all just pretty much stickers.
But the Genesis still has a V6. But there is a V8 available for that.
No, it's
car.
actually going to be a spec engine.
It's a spec engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
a one
basically
make.
you're just going to be
It's just a body.
paying for the
tubular
body.
frame.
Yeah. It's a real NASCAR.
Okay.
So if you want it to look like a Genesis, just
Sticker
put
it
the
up.
right lights in front.
Okay.
Stickers. Yeah.
Okay, and who makes the chassis? I mean,
We're
spec
getting
chassis?
them from the States.
Okay.
They're actually on their way.
They're being shipped.
Yeah.
So what can effectively a team do to the car to make it their own?
Well, we are renting them out. We're looking for local teams to actually manage them. So we can give up to 2 cars per
team.
So this can even be seen as a one make series.
It is a one make.
So it's a one make series, but then you can just put a different shell on the car to make it look like your own.
Everyone has the same shell. It's just pretty much a bumper that's different.
It's just
And
the
the sticker.
stickering.
Yeah.
So it's like you'll change the headlights, the grill, the
But it will. I mean,
emblem.
it'll look okay. Like it look like if you wanted to make it look like a Mustang.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Yep.
a Ranger.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
Like the Ranger. Pwede.
You guys,
Go right ahead.
you guys have to forgive him. He thinks that motorsport is just F1. Yeah, that's his definition. Motorsport is F1.
Look at your shirt. That's it.
There are others.
There are. Okay.
So NASCAR is where the F1 drivers go to retire.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And they don't do well.
One time they
No, he
won
didn't.
One time.
Did he win a 500?
Yeah, I think
No,
he won.
he never won a 500. He won a He won one of
At least
the
he
Road
won
race,
something.
yeah.
it was a road race. It wasn't a once. I mean, like in his entire.
And he won the championship, right? But
no,
1 year only? No.
no.
Was
I think
close
it
to
was
winning.
just a
No,
race,
Why
yeah.
not?
Oh,
yeah,
just one
he only
race.
won one race, and it wasn't even the 500. It was one of the
Smaller races.
And then Nelson Piquet Jr., but that was trucks, I think. They was doing. Kimi also didn't do too well in NASCAR trucks. Nobody's really stood out there.
You have to
NASCAR.
drive it to understand. You have to unlearn
Yeah.
everything you've learned from formula, karts, whatever. It doesn't handle like anything you've driven.
Is it the
true?
scariest for you, Enzo, when it comes to
Not
handling
scary,
cars?
it's
Because you've been
spongy.
spongy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you're driving a boat, but it's funny. Once
Of
you
course
start
it's American. Oh,
cornering,
sorry.
it's actually sticky. There is actual G-force.
But it's just.
Oh, okay.
It's just the
Soft.
braking to turn in. That's all soft. Once you get the car into the corner and exiting, it's sticky.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then and then we'll quickly go to Macau, where you did last
was
year as well.
my
Same car.
Fifth year.
Same
Fifth
car.
year already,
It's a DC5. Well, basically, Super 2000 is do anything to a 2-liter. I had a Group A car. So pretty much the only difference was my cam.
Okay.
So I had only about 250 horsepower.
You had a digicam there
No.
to record it. I thought you said your cam
yeah.
was. Just
Yeah.
kidding. Sorry.
Okay. Next.
It's all about timing. And get it, cam, timing. No, go on.
Didn't get that one.
I thought these are engineer jokes. I thought Pacho would be rolling around laughing, you know?
No, he's just rubbing his eyes.
Well, you know, it's just extremely corny.
To the regular Joe, yeah, but I thought, anyway, go on.
Yeah, so out of the top 10, top 12 cars were pretty much factory works cars. They were producing about 310 horsepower
For a
easy.
2-liter, huh?
So yeah, lucky to qualify. I think 14th.
So what's the goal there, if you don't mind me asking? If you know that you're really not, what's the goal for a racer to say, I'm still going to join Macau, I'm hoping to get maybe top 10? Is
So
that
it's basically
Yeah?
Yeah.
So
So
for
it's
Macau,
still-
it's 99%.
It is,
luck.
it
Did
is.
you watch the race?
No, I
crazy.
missed the race.
On
Oh my
TV?
gosh.
Yeah. So
It's just too tight.
yeah.
Yeah, really.
It's pretty much a
And
two-laner.
fast.
Yeah,
it's
and
tight
fast
and
too.
fast.
Yeah.
And everything is blind corner.
Yeah.
And
you're
when
right.
it goes wrong,
To finish it, it's a big deal.
Right.
Some people just don't understand the magnitude
Yeah.
of Macau. It's hard to explain that you have to be committed in a corner you don't see the exit of, and before you finish that corner, you're already prepping for the
Another one.
corner you still don't see.
Wow.
And then if someone
Spun out
spins
there.
or anything, goodbye.
Yeah, that's what I saw in some of the.
It is
you know, you can see
just insane.
highlights in YouTube and everything. You know, the accidents in Macau. Everything is because they are blind corners.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like you come out of a corner at 100+ kilometers per hour, and then there is a car spinning in front of you. What do?
Yeah.
Close your eyes and.
yeah.
Just start praying.
I've seen, I think it was Macau where I saw the safety car get nailed because it came out and yeah, they're committed.
Yeah.
Boom, and it was a
That's why they
horrific-
wait.
Yeah, but he
a bit
did it
further
really
down.
wrong.
So yeah,
It's
it's the Monaco of the East is what
Yeah.
they call it. So sadly, with this last race, blown tire on the fourth
Yeah,
lap.
we started the race on wets. It was a drying track. Fourth lap into Mandarin, my front right blew. Good thing it was the front right, because if it was the left,
Oh my God! You just go
Yeah.
straight to the wall.
So that was the car wrecked or
just the fender, the tire shredded
okay?
it
So
up.
it didn't
yeah.
hit
So,
anything, but it was
Yep.
game over.
Game over.
You can't
fourth
check.
lap.
You couldn't make it around.
I was up to 6th place on the fourth lap, so it was
So there was a
Sayang.
chance to.
the guy I was finally behind is the guy that won
Won,
the race.
yeah.
I'm not saying I would
Wow,
have, you know,
yeah.
Yeah, but
it's really all luck.
How many laps would that race be?
I was a 12 lapper.
And 12 laps of six point something.
It's almost 7, yeah, 6.7-ish, I think.
6.7-ish, and tight hairpins,
Yeah.
fast corners, long straights.
Up in the mountain, I catch up. It's just down the straights. No hope. I lose 12 cars easily. So
Wow.
That's the only place you can pass anyway.
So all that work and then bye-bye. Yeah, so even if you did get to pass. Anyway, we pretty much are running out of time. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap up with the final details of how they can register again for this Enduro. Time, date, place, etc.
Basically, just shoot us an email, philendurancecup@gmail.com, or find us on Facebook. Phil Endurance Cup.
That's PHI.
Yeah, PHIL Endurance Cup.
Oh, something like that. Go to Phil Invest.
And then you can also check us out on our website, which is www.circuitshowdown.com. So basically, everything is.
Entrance is 15,000 per team.
Yep.
Okay, and
2 to 6 drivers. If you plan on registering the FM2, you just need the dyno, prove your car really is below 150 wheel. We can send you over complete rules. Just send us a request.
Well, there you go.
We're going to be using GT radial tires, and basically you have to get your car dyno checked in staging lanes.
All right. Fantastic. As simple as that. So if you want to get yourselves into racing, or you already have a team and
and on Wednesday, November 20, we will have a driver's briefing.
Compulsory.
Did they get any practice runs?
That morning.
That morning. Okay.
We have a quali also.
All right. Okay.
That's
so
about
practice, quali, and race starts about 10:30 a.m. on December 1. And so it's a great opportunity to get into circuit races. 6 hours, that's a pretty long race. A lot of strategy involved there. So I hope to see you guys there in Clark International Speedway. Till next week, this is James Deakin.
Pacho Blanco. Hey guys, God bless.
Drive safely, everyone.